there are different types of musical intervals out there. Perfect, diminished. Today, I'm going to focus on the minor and major, thirds and sixths. So, we are going to learn how to identify an interval, how to form it, and how to transform it. Let's start with identifying. I'm going to write 2 notes here. And I'm going to show you the process I go through. First of all, we need to number it. Is it a third or a sixth? Well, we start counting from the bottom note of the interval, and we go step by step. So we start counting on the C. C. A step above is D, and a step above is E. So we count 3 step by step. C, D, E. 3. C to E is therefore a third. Now, we need to describe it, not just number it. We have 2 options. Either is major or minor. And this is what we do. We start forming a major scale starting from the first note of the interval. Scale of C major. Okay? Just for your information, this is a C and this is also a C. Okay, so C, E. After we form the major scale on the first note of the interval, okay, we check whether the second note of the interval in the scale we've formed is unchanged. And that's the case here. E is not sharp or flat, is natural, it's the same E of the interval they asked us to identify it. In this case, this is the major third, okay? Because we formed the scale starting on C. After we formed the scale, we found that the second note of the interval, E, is the same in the scale we formed and in the intervals we were asked to identify. Okay, so that's identification, recognition of an interval. Okay. Second exercise is formation of an interval. So they could give us a starting note and they could ask us to form a certain interval starting from that note. Since we'll be talking about thirds, okay, let's start forming a third interval on a certain note. We are going to start from A. Let's do our 3 step-by-step count. So A, another step, that's B, another step, that's C. So A, B, C. So to form a third, we need a C, A to C. Now, let's say they want a major third. Okay? So let's formulate a scale on the first note of the interval again. A major. Formulating A major, yeah? Now, if we have to form a major third starting on A, let's look at the C. the same C of the scale we formed. No, it's not. Because in the scale, the C is sharp. Therefore, we're going to count 3. A, B, C. Form the scale on A. After we form the scale, we find that the C is sharp. We're going to sharpen the C. So we've been focusing on third intervals so far. We've learned how to recognize them and how to form them. Now we need to learn how to transform them. And what I mean by that is that they might ask you to transform a major interval into a minor one and vice versa. So let's do this. Okay? So this is an interval of minor third. How do I know that? I'll just rewind. I formed the scale on E, a major scale, and I found that the G is sharp in the major scale. Here is not sharp, and therefore I went for the other option, minor. So we already know this is the interval of minor third. Now they might ask you, transform this into a major third. And I think you already have the answer by now. You form your scale on E major, and you will know that the G is sharp, and therefore to transform it into a major, you sharpen the G. Now, the opposite, okay, going from major to minor is a little bit trickier, just a little bit. Let's take this one, okay, A to C. Okay, this is a major third because you have the A major scale here and the C is sharp. Now, we need to make it minor. Therefore, we need to form the scale of A minor and see if the C is sharp in A minor as well. Forming a minor scale can be a little bit tricky. And I'll show you how to do it. We need to find, okay, the relative major first. How do we find it? We do 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. We do a stepwise movement, ascending of 1, 2, 3 from the note. Okay, so we did 1, 2, 3. We end up on the C. The C major is the relative major of A minor. Why are we doing all of this? We're doing this to find out whether the C is sharp or not in A minor. And because C major is going to have the same key signature of A minor, we found it. So, A minor, okay? How did we get to that? From a major third to a minor third. A to C sharp is major because the C is sharp in the scale of A major. We then form the scale of A minor, and to know which flats or sharps to put in the scale of A minor, we found the relative major third by going up by 3. 1, 2, 3. We ended up on the C. In C major, there are no sharps or flat. Okay? And therefore, in the A minor scale, the C is natural, just like in the C major. So we unsharpened the C that was sharp, and that's how we make the interval minor. Now, we've only been talking about thirds, okay? With sixths, if it goes in the same way, with a few exceptions that I'm going to explain. First of all, let's start with identification, recognition of an interval, okay? The sixth has 6 steps. starting on the first note of the interval. So, what's the interval of A to F? It's a 6. A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so we know it's a 6. How do we distinguish a major from a minor 6? First of all, okay, let's do our usual process. We form the A major scale starting on A. We already know it. So we see that the F is sharp in A major. And in this interval, they're asking us to recognize the F is not sharp. Therefore, it's minor. Now, the formation of an interval can be a little bit trickier, and I explain why. Let's say they ask us, okay, to form an interval from A. I'll use the same example. And they say, form a minor interval from A of 6. Okay? Now, you are familiar, perhaps, with melodic minor scales. This is how the melodic minor scale goes. B, C, A minor melodic I'm forming here, yeah? E, and then F sharp here, G sharp, and then A, so that's the minor melodic scale starting on A. So you might be tempted when you're asked to form a minor 6 interval starting on A, you might be tempted to sharpen this. Because you're like, if I'm forming a minor scale starting on A, the F is sharp. But to do that for this exercise, we don't form a minor scale melodic. We form a minor scale natural. What's a natural minor scale? Is actually much easier. To form a natural minor scale, we simply find the relative major, like we've learned, we go up by 3. Relative major of A is C, A, B, C. We simply find it and we apply the same accidentals or no accidentals like in this case. So your natural minor scale, we don't need that and we don't need that. Because we applied the same accidentals of C major, except we started forming the minor scale on the A. So, let's rewind. If they say, form a minor interval starting on a certain note, a minor 6, we count 6, okay? Like I did here. Then, the 6th note, we make sure that it corresponds to the minor natural scale that we would have formed on the A. Make sense? Now, let's transform the interval, okay? I'll give you a minor one here. Let's do a minor 6. Starting on E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay? Let's say we have to make this major. Form the scale of E major, starting on E. That's our scale of E major we formed on the first note of the interval. Okay? So to make this minor interval major, we need a C sharp. Okay? Now let's do the opposite. Let's say we have to make this major 6 interval minor. I'm going to repeat this again because it's really important. So let's form a minor natural scale starting on E. First of all, let's find the relative major starting on E. Stepwise, E, F, G. G major. G major has one sharp, and therefore the minor natural scale of V will only have one sharp as well, like we explained before. So let's do the minor natural scale. Okay, that's your minor natural scale of V. Now you tell me, is the C sharp in the scale? No, it's not. Therefore, to make this major 6 interval minor, we are gonna have to unsharpen it, desharpen it, make it natural.